to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How day going? Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day on a productive day. We back at it. Before I start, make sure y'all smash like button, smash like button, smash like button. On the road to 10K subscribers. Hit that sub button, turn post notifications on. Want to find me on any other platform? My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at Visuals LOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE.Visuals. And follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. So let's talk about it. So, Coach Bernie Davis, Terence Crawford, one of Terence Crawford coaches, goes in on Jaron Ennis, and he says that Jaron Ennis should take the training wheels off and fight real competition. I mean, I'm not really mad at that. Boots 34-0, 30 KOs, 28 years old. His best win, Imantas Stanionis, that's his best win. Karen Chizuki, he been in there with him. Sergey Lipinets, Clayton. He's been in there with some, guys, respectfully. So, Coach Bernie Davis, I could kind of agree with Coach Bernie Davis, especially being that, Jaron Ennis is being offered these certain type of fights. So, that's kind of why I'm shocked. Like, how are we going to offer, these certain type of fights to Jaron Ennis and he's not taking them? That's the difference. He's being offered T.O. and he's being offered, Terence Crawford. He's being offered certain type of fights, certain big fights, Brian Norman, and he's not taking them. So, I know we could say, he's a great fighter, but Bernie Davis is right. The training wheels are on. And I know you might be like, oh, but Crawford, at 28, Crawford had only fought, well, Crawford had a different situation. He wasn't able to get those certain fights. At 28, Crawford, he'd been in there with Breedis, Prescott, Thomas Delorme, Ricky Burns. He's been in there, with those type of guys, but Urikias Gamboa, he's been there with Gamboa before 28. So, even though I know we feel like, oh, some of those guys were over the hill, but those were the best options presented towards Crawford at the time. Crawford didn't get no, mega fights offered to him like, Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis has been turning down fights. Oh, this doesn't make the most sense, We had Jaron Ennis turn down Virgil Ortiz, T.O., Brian Norman. Like, I kind of got to agree with Bernie Davis. The training wheels are off. Eddie Hearn, I know he's trying to capitalize on, having Jaron Ennis as a, fighter, but he's not giving them the big fights. And that's, why guys won't sign with certain promoters, because, it seems like it's more about making them money instead of, getting the fighter on. Because I know you'll make money if you get boots in the ring with certain guys. But and this next fight is kind of telltale of Boots' career at this point. Uzma Lima, who is that? Like, why are you fighting this guy when you could fight so many other fighters? Like, respectfully, and I like Boots, but as of lately, his choice of competition has been poor, and it ain't the opportunity where, oh, this is the only guys Boots can fight. It's been a lot of guys that Boots has had opportunities to fight. He's just turned them down. He has everything skill-wise, switch hitter, he's very talented. But, it may be a lack of confidence there, if I'm being honest. Because, if anything, you could have beat Virgil Ortiz at 54. I know you were trying to unify at 47, but you could have moved up and got that name on your resume and, respectful. Because, Stanionis unifying at 147, what has it really done for you? Respectfully, what has unifying at welterweight done for you? You're still at the same standpoint you are. You're not a bigger star as you was when you didn't have the title. So, respectfully, I kind of got to agree with Bernie Davis. And, I kind of already chimed in, Jaron Ennis, you know, his hate campaign. You know, he's been low-key hating on Terence Crawford. And it's kind of blatant to see, you know, we can tell, you know, he went in on the Canelo performance, said it wasn't a good performance, you know. You know, then he came out, he sparred Canelo, like, you know, it's a lot going on, you know, as far as Jaron Ennis, you know, with his disdain for Terence Crawford. And he had an opportunity to fight Terence Crawford, so I'm trying to see why is it this thing? Respectfully, you know. But if Boots really wants to, you know, show improve, I mean, at 54, he's gonna have the fights. It's gonna be fights for him. I mean, 54 is probably one of the most loaded divisions in boxing right now, you know. And respectfully, you know, it's so many other fights he could have took at 54 that have been more interesting than Usman Lima. He could have fought Erickson Lubin, Israel Madrimov, Sergey Boychuk, Virgil Ortiz. All of those fights are more interesting. And I know, you know, he says, oh, maybe I'm trying to get a tune-up. Come on, bro. You've been at welterweight so long. If you're not ready to fight at 54 you know, right now, it's kind of crazy. Because we watch Bud go up to, you know, 54 and no tune-up take on a champion. But we can't watch the 28-year-old go up, no tune-up. You know, but I guess, you know, maybe he feels like he really needs this tune-up. I don't think it's going to benefit him any much, respectfully, but that's on him. You know, I'm not going to judge. If he thinks the tune-up is what he needs to be, it's just another, you know, factor of him lacking confidence, you know. I don't think he has the confidence in himself, if I'm being honest, you know, because there's a lot of winnable fights that he and his promoter have turned down, you know, respectfully. You know, Brian Norman, Virgil Ortiz, T.O., you know, those are a lot of winnable fights for him. I'm trying to see why those fights didn't get made. I don't know why Buddy just constantly, you know, stand behind me, like, ride my, I can't say that on YouTube, but yeah, I like Boots, but I don't think he's taking the right initiative in his career. And I don't think, you know, Eddie Hearn has his best interests at heart, if you ask me. So, you know, that's what my standpoint is. But, yeah, Coach Brady Davis, he's right. The training wheels are on for Boots. You know, and you can tell by his tune-up opposition. You know, him trying to, you know, slowly go up to 54. Like, bro, you wasting time. Respectfully, you know, you are. And I know people are like, oh, why doesn't Bud fight Boots? For what? What has Boots done? He beat Stanley Onis at welterweight. What else? I don't think we just should gift him a Bud fight because he's the next hottest thing, respectfully. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. We're on the road to 10K subscribers. Hit that sub button, turn the post notifications on. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much amount.